Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
We're going to get right into it. What is intraday mode? How does this all work? And the first thing to talk about is intraday modes are basically finding the low average daily range moving pairs within the Forex market. So what you see here is going to be the actual average daily range that all these different currency pairs have moved over time since 2014 and 2020. So what we did is we chose some pairs based in forward testing, back testing, and data here to decide what pairs would probably be best for an intraday mode to use in a mode where you're really looking to get in and out of trades sooner and get into a lot more trades, which can obviously be higher risk. So I'll give you an example. You would never use intraday modes on GBP NZD. You'd never use intraday modes on gold, Euro AED, any of these pairs here. Pretty much, you're going to want to pretty much avoid a lot of them, but some of them you can use on intraday modes. You see USD CADs down here and some others. Some of those we still touch because forward testing data says that they still work well. But when you look at the latter half, you're not going to touch some of these on intraday modes. And some of these other ones, some of their spikes still, even though their lower average daily range is low, they have larger spikes. With that being said, here's intraday mode settings. So you can see, depending on which mode you're choosing between your instant entry strategy or your skip a level, you're choosing between these pairs, right? On which pairs you're going to run or decide how to run. And the reason for this is we looked and we saw, based on forward testing and back testing data, that these not only had lower average daily ranges, they also didn't have unexpected spikes very often, which, a lot of other pairs can have, even if they did have average daily, lower average daily ranges. The reason we didn't choose many of them is because of some of their unusual spikes. So we chose these pairs based on that forward back testing data that we've used for a long time. And we run it this way. If you're using instant entry strategy, you're sticking to a 0.01 lot size per $3,000. And you're going to choose one pair. If you have $1,000, if you have 2K, you can choose two pairs. If you have 3K, you can choose three pairs. Now, if you're using the skip a level strategy, you can open all 6 pairs, but allow 3 max trading at a single time. And that's going to be 0.01 per 3K as well. 1K, 3 max pairs. Smaller balances below 1K, trading 1 to 2 max for a single time. And this is still highly risky. I'm going to be honest, if you have an account below $1,000 and you are using multiple pairs on skip a level strategy, there is a likelihood that you could have a bad day. This is a more hands-on strategy and requires some micromanagement. I don't know what those numbers are here. Delete those. If your balance is over $25,000, I would typically recommend going to 0.01 per 5K if using the intraday modes. Now, we'll go over here and we can see since the beginning of the month in the intraday modes on a $80,000 account. You can ignore this. This was before intraday mode. Let me actually do a custom analysis. I use this account for a lot of different things. It's my demo tester. So let's go to, where are we? We're not, oh yeah. 2021. Let's go to the beginning of July to now. And this is what we've done so far since the beginning of the month to now. So 1 month, not very exciting. It's been a slower month, definitely for sure, trading some of these pairs in the intraday modes. But nonetheless, the software has crushed it. It's been making profits, closing trades, and doing what it does. Right now, we are in some drawdown on these pairs and going to wait for them to swing. Now, again, like I said, intraday mode is going to be a riskier decision. Depends how you want to run it, use it, what you want to do. But again, it is another solid strategy. It does get into more trades. It has a higher likelihood of making profits in times where precision mode is not making any profits. I'm going to check the chat right now. Chris, what's up, brother? Welcome to the call. So, like I said, intraday strategies are really simple. It's not like precision mode where we have a lot of stuff to talk about, as we are running some very commonly, not too volatile pairs, things that, do what they should do. And right now, we're not even in a USD CAD trade over here. Pretty cool to see. We're in a bunch of AUD, NZD. Got a CAD CHF open, but, the point of the story is that is the intraday modes, the strategies, the settings, how it works. And really, it's up to you to decide how you want to manage it, understanding that those modes do exist, understanding where we choose our pairs from, understanding why we run lower lot sizes and why we use these max pairs based on our entries. When you understand intraday modes, there's a lot of users that have discovered intraday modes and put their own touch to it, right? So this is kind of a base to give you to work with. And if you understand GearBox and you are on this call, chances are you are a more advanced user. And if you are a more advanced user, then you might find some things that, you can tweak to your liking. You could increase or decrease risk in different places and get a different outcome. Really up to you how you decide to implement this information. But with that being said, let me check the chat. I see. Can we see your GearBox Gambler My FX book and what strategy it's on? Maximilian, the Gambler, we won't talk about those on calls. And I haven't ran the Gambler in a long time. I mean, I'm not even going to show you the Gambler because what was done on the Gambler is not duplicatable in any means. It was a lucky streak, and we took $1,000 account to 40 grand in about 3 weeks, and then it blew. So. Yeah, Gambler definitely, did some crazy stuff. We ran it literally nonstop. I didn't touch the thing for a month, and it took $1 grand to 40 grand. But then, like I said, all it took is one big movement, and the whole account blew. But the point is, if you find things that work for you, and you understand your risk, and you use equity protection, and use different risk settings, you might find something that can make you a lot of money with this product and increase your risk while also decreasing it at the same time. I see a lot of people that choose to increase their lot size, decrease their equity protector, so that if something ever goes against them, they take a loss really soon rather than getting in a lot of drawdown or risking their account, right? So it's all however you want to deploy your risk and manage your risk is the best piece of advice I can give you when using intraday modes or a potential Gambler setting, as somebody just asked me. And I don't even know how you found out about the Gambler, Maximilian, but I guess maybe watching some of my calls, it might show up in my FX book and my lists. But yeah, I mean, there's some crazy stuff you can do. Maximilian, wow. Also, why is intraday not given the attention it deserves? It's crushing it. I'm going to tell you why it's not given the attention it deserves. And it comes from the past horror stories that people have experienced with other EAs in the past that run similar to intraday mode. And what I mean by similar, I mean, there's people in the past that before they had all these extra risk settings and all the wonderful, amazing things GearBox has to offer, they used a similar base strategy to GearBox. And anytime the market had huge movements, people ran into some bad days, right? And because of that, even though I know GearBox is a rock solid product and we have so many amazing features to protect somebody using intraday modes, it still really just isn't given the attention it deserves because of many people's PTSD, I should say. Even though we know it stands the test of time, the precision modes tend to be the better fit for a lot of people that have experienced softwares that just traded to trade in the past, right? So we know that GearBox, when using it in every strategy besides instant entry, doesn't just trade to trade. And there's a reason for its trades, and we understand why it's taking the trade because we created the settings and we created the inputs, right? And that gives people a lot of clarity, a lot of confidence. But I saw your MyFX book and I saw your results with intraday, and I got to tell you, maybe next week's intraday call, Max, if you want to hop on and talk about what you're doing and your experience with intraday mode, I'd love to have you on. And you can share your results, and we can give some more attention to the intraday modes from some new people that are having success with it, right? And that really love the strategy. But yeah, I do also agree that GearBox and intraday modes are a phenomenal strategy, and they need more attention. We hadn't given it too much attention because of some of our um, affiliates, experiences with other EAs in the past that had instant entry strategies and things like that really got into GearBox to have that precision style, right? So we didn't want to take away from precision to put a lot of emphasis back on intraday when we know that it is not as superior for a normal average person that has no trading experience. But for somebody who has some trading experience, man, intraday modes are amazing. So I appreciate that question, and I'm glad we got to answer that. But with that being said, I mean, if you guys have any more questions for me, I know our intraday calls are always very short. There's not too much to talk about on the intraday calls, which is why I would love to have more testimonials like Max come on, on next week and then share some of his strategies and what's working for him, and his results he's gotten, because, we really need to pump up some more attention onto what we have going on here in the intraday calls, as this is actually one of our larger intraday calls we've had since we started. So that tells me that some more people are catching on to intraday. I always tell you that I love precision. Precision is my baby. I designed GearBox for precision modes, so I'm not going to tell you that I love intraday modes more, because I don't. But I know the power in intraday modes for somebody who understands them. So with that being said, I appreciate every single one of you coming in and spending this time with me every single Thursday. And I look forward to getting to spend a lot of time with you guys tomorrow on our precision call, as always. Oh, wait, we have one more thing we got to do before I let you guys run. Don't get off. We are going to take a look at the news for the week in case some of you do not get on my precision call. It is important that we also cover this while we are here. So hold on, let me refresh some dates. And let's get in here and let's take a look at the news for the next week and what we got going on, because news affects intraday modes much more than it affects precision modes. So we actually have a clear Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, no red folders. Wednesday, we have some USD CPI news. Okay. Thursday, we have OPEC JMMC. This can be a larger one that can move all markets, as you see, all day and all currency pairs here. So we're going to look out for that one on Thursday. My best advice for you is maybe if you're using intraday modes and you are in floating profit come Wednesday night, Thursday morning, prior to these starting, I would maybe just go ahead and close all trades and turn off trading for the week and take your profit and run, because this one can have some larger effects. It hasn't been lately, but if you study historical data, OPEC JMMC has moved the market before. So other than that, PPI, but looks like a pretty clear week otherwise. So it looks like a phenomenal week actually for intraday trading. I cannot tell you it looks like a phenomenal week for precision, because without red folders, we need movement for precision modes to trigger trades. And hopefully we get some good average daily range movement here without any red folders this week to score some precision entries. But for intraday, I will tell you, it definitely looks like a solid week with a lot of, normal movements, consolidation, nothing too unexpected. And hopefully it looks great ahead. So looks like clear sailing, I should say, as I sit on this boat. But with that being said, thank you guys all for spending this time with me. And I look forward to seeing you all on the precision call tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.